So this is what we've done so far. We've unpicked the vent for the engine on the back, around the base of the window, rear window. So that's been taken off. And put that aside. That'll give us an opportunity to clean the corrosion on the inside of this. Might send it off to the soda blasters. Same with up under here, get it all nice and clean before it goes back in. And the other things that we've done to make a bit of progress to rebuild this whole corner here so that it starts to look like this again. This is going to have work done to it, but I left it in there so that I could take a template off there and do a mirror image to make the piece that goes on this side. So this is the piece that I've made up to go on the inside here. And that was taken off the mirror image of the template from the other side. So that piece has got to be welded in. Also had to make up this little piece here, which is the piece that goes in this corner. It goes into there. That'll get welded in first. And another piece that we had to make up is this piece here. And that's the profile that runs down the inside underneath. So you can see up in there that that's the profile for that piece there. Let's get that into position. You can see how it sits. So that'll sit like that. That'll get welded in as well. And then the other piece that we made that fits around for the windscreen edge is going to go over the top. So that's 3 pieces so far. Then we'll be making a section to replace this. Making all these by hand because you can't buy these aftermarket pieces. And to find a donor car is impossible because they all rust out like this. I doubt whether you'd ever find one that hasn't got that corrosion on the inside. You'd have to be very lucky. And if it didn't, you wouldn't be cutting it up anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll show you as that gets welded in, we'll show you the progress on that. Okie dokie, so that's these 2 pieces welded in, that section there, and this new section in here. So we're going to build off that from the outside, and that'll give us the structure to put everything else in place on the outside. Okay, so those 2 have been welded in like I showed. And now that's the outer plate for the window edge. That's been welded in too. But I've only welded it in on this end, and I'll show you why. So that's the plate welded on the outside that we've formed, and that forms the window frame to receive the rear window. The rubber fits in around there. I've welded it only across here, and I've left the rest of the panel loose. As you can see, it's not matched up here yet. That allows me to shape this a little bit more and make it work and fit how it's supposed to fit, and then it'll get welded in. And we've been doing these corner pieces in here. We've got them to a stage where they're pretty stable. The reason why we didn't cut this section out here straight away is we need stability in the actual body so that it doesn't collapse. These unibody cars, if you cut them up too much, they can fold in and end up with a problem trying to put your panels back in because they overlap. Anyway, we've got that section in, we've got the little piece in on the back corner, we've got this channel here made and welded in as well. And we're just getting ready to organise for this section here. I'll just come back out of the hole here and show you what we've done to make up that piece. Car yoga. I love car yoga. Up and down with dog, all of those things. Anyway, so So that's the piece that came out of there. And that's the section we left in so that it had some stability whilst we repaired this area here. Now this is as solid as a rock, and it's stabilising it and stopping the windscreen frame from collapsing in here. So we've cut that out and we've made a template up for that, and then we've ended up with this piece of metal that's going to go back in. So this one's going to go back into here, get welded into position in there. And we'll be able to make progress from there on in. I just wanted to show you how I did the template. So say for argument's sake, this is another piece that's going into here. And that'll form part of that section there. But I'll show you, come over to the bench and I'll show you the old one. And how I make templates with all of these things. So that's the old piece that came out of the corner. And what I do is, it had all of these folds and everything in it, and this edge was all folded up. I put it on the steel bench and flatten it out. And that gives you the opportunity then to make a template for it. And that's the template that we cut from it. Then you transfer that to your metal and cut your metal shape out, and it gives you pretty much exactly what you need to go back into the car. So when you've got a rusty car, don't go just cutting all the rust out of it and willy-nilly and saying, I'll get to it later. You need to leave the rust sections in it so that you can take templates. It's very, very important that you can keep these shapes and know what you have to build to put back into the space. It's the same with this section here that's been cut out. You always hang on to it, because I'm going to be making a template so that I can manufacture that and then put it back into position, and it's exactly the same size as the factory piece. Okay, that's the stage we're up to at this point. I'll weld those in. We'll give you a bit more of a look at them being welded in and what it looks like after it's finished, and we'll progress from there. So that's all the internals rebuilt. I can start on the outside now. I'll just give you a view of the inside of it. All new panels. Got weld through primer all through it now. Let's start on the outside.